Hi, do you guys do brakes?
We do.
I've got a 2019 Dodge Grand Caravan. Can you give me a rough idea what it would cost to put the pads and rotors on all four corners?
It's about 500 to 700 per axle,
Five.
depending on exactly what we need.
Okay, 500 to 700 per axle. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye. 500 to 700 per axle. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. It's been a long time since I posted on this channel. I know I have a couple of posts on here from when we used to own an older Ford Edge doing some brakes, and we do have another Ford Edge. That one got totaled out by a deer, and we got a newer one. It's nice. But I got my minivan in here today, and it needs a set of brakes. So I thought maybe I'd try recording it, and if it helps somebody else out there to do the job themselves, that'd be great. That's kind of the point. Just so you know, 4 disc brakes, four rotors, and a set of pads cost me $590, and they're not exactly the bottom of the line from Napa, but I think they're barely a mid-grade. If you start getting with the premium stuff, you really start paying even more. So anyway, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start on these. I'm probably gonna do one side just to make sure I know what I need for tools and whatnot, and then I'll go to the other side and I'll record that. So hope this helps anybody that's trying to do brakes. Only do this if you feel comfortable doing it. I'm not saying I'm right in any way, shape, or form in the process. I'm sure I've been a mechanic pretty much my whole life, and there's one thing I can say is when you work on stuff over and over and over, you learn a lot of things, and doing it one time, it's not going to make you a professional by any means. I think I can get through disc brakes pretty decent. I've done them in the past in other vehicles. It's really not too difficult, but I'm quite sure if you went to your dealership or to a reputable brake shop, they're gonna have some knowledge that I don't have and I won't have even after doing this one time. So if you're not comfortable doing this kind of stuff, because brakes are about well, I shouldn't say brakes are about, they are the most important part of your car. So don't take it lightly. Don't do this unless you're comfortable and willing to take on the responsibility of what could go wrong. So, in other words, do it at your own risk. Don't follow everything I do. This is just a suggestion video. So, anyway, let's go. Alright, so we got the first side done. Now I kind of know what you need. So first thing you do before you jack it up is break the lug nuts loose, in case you've never changed a tire or done brakes before. Before you get the weight of the vehicle off of the wheel, you have to break the lug nuts loose. I placed my jack underneath the shock, kind of sits in that pocket so it's less likely to fall off, and just get it off the ground far enough that you can do what you need to do. Now, safety first. You always want to use a jack stand, even though you're not going to be under the car, you're going to be under the side. You don't want to be doing something, have something happen, have it slip off and get a finger or get knocked in the head or something. But try to find a good solid place. Don't put it underneath the edge of the body like here or something stupid, because that's just going to smash it if it does come down, or worse, you forget the jack stand's in there when you go to let the jack down. That sucks. So here you can see the suspension comes up. This is a pretty beefy mount right here. Just get it up, get it close, should be good. Alright, so now that I did the job once on the other side, hopefully I know what I'm doing. Just kind of look at what I have for tools. I of course have a flashlight, a large hammer, kind of mediocre sledgehammer, real small one. Just a flat screwdriver for a little bit of prying. You don't have to do much. Sometimes it helps. I have a regular 1/2 inch ratchet wrench and a 1/2 inch breaker bar. And then I have a couple of 3/8 ratchet wrenches. You got a little C-clamp, an old coat hanger, 4-way wrench, and an impact if you want. So just to kind of talk about the one specialty tool, there's nothing really too special about it. This is like a $10 tool at your local auto parts store. It's sort of a universal fit, I don't even know what you call it, but what it does is it takes the puck in the caliper and allows you, depending on which one fits yours, which side of this thing fits yours, you can screw that puck back into the caliper. Because on the rears you have emergency brakes and they tend to click out as you need them, and yeah, you need to screw those back in, because once you put new pads on there, you have much thicker material now, and you have to spread that caliper out so that you can get it over the pads. So look for that tool. It looks really chintzy and cheap, but I've been using it for quite a while and it's actually worked really well, surprisingly, for a piece of crap feeling tool. All right, first thing, let's look at what we're doing here. This is your caliper, and this is what holds your pads. They're two separate pieces. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to pull this caliper off first. So you unscrew this bolt, that bolt. You may have to use that screwdriver and get in here and pry a little bit just to try to push this piston back into the caliper. Once you get it loose enough, you can pull it up and off. And that's where this comes into play. I'll take this guy and I'll clamp it up here just for some place to hang the wire from. And then I'll hang that caliper. It's important to be careful with the caliper because of the brake lines and this line here, which I believe is for your analog brakes, I think. But nonetheless, none of this stuff, you don't want any of this stuff to break. And yeah, it's designed to move and flex, but when you start taking this caliper and moving it places that it has never been before, these things over time can get pretty dry and pretty brittle, and it's easy to crack them. And that's another video, which I hope I don't ever have to make, because I hate doing brake lines. But anyway, let's get this caliper off. See, now here's the problem. As I'm turning this guy's turning. Can't have that, because this bolt is screwed into this pin, and I don't want to twist and break this rubber boot. It's nice enough for them to put flats on there. I'll have to see if I can find something that fits that. I open this hole. It's probably noisy. I said I probably shouldn't even have it on. It's probably noisy. The video. Right here. So you can see I put that clamp up there. I'll take this guy and just put it through. It's there to help me hold that caliper. Now if I wanted to, I could just pop this brake pad off right now. They actually don't look too terrible. They're maybe 50% gone, but this vehicle's got 102,000 miles on it and the brakes are noisy, so I thought I would get some new ones for it. Now if I wasn't changing the rotors, I could put the pads right in there, put the caliper back on, and I'd be good to go, but I want to change out the rotors as well. So I got to get that off. When I get the rotor off, some vehicles have a screw somewhere on here that might be holding that rotor on. So make sure you clean it off, because I've seen them where they're buried under rust and you barely even tell they're there. But this one doesn't have any screws. It just sits on there and gets clamped on when you put the wheel on. But rust takes over and it hangs on tight. That's what this guy is for. Let's go put new pads on. You can replace these clips, and you probably should. Just grab them and pull. Oops. Backwards. Dummy. I don't know, hopefully the camera picks this up, but you just slide the pads kind of right down in here at an angle. Just like that. Place the clips on the other side. There you have it. This is all packed, ready to go back into service. Another thing to look at on these while you have it out is these pins. These are your floating pins. Make sure they move freely. If they don't, pull this boot back, pull it out, clean it up, re-grease it, and put it back on. Put that boot over there. If the boot rips, you may need to go to a parts store and get a new one. It's important that those aren't torn, because otherwise rain will get in there, water, whatever, and it'll just seize them up. And then sometimes that's when you have a problem where the piston side of this assembly, that pad will wear down right to the metal and start grinding, and the other pad's still brand new. It's because these aren't floating. Alright, so now this is where this goofy tool comes to play. Now that we got our new pads packed on there, get the bracket remounted, get ready to put the caliper back on, we got to get that piston pushed back in there. Now you pick out which side fits the piston on your car. Let's see if I get the camera over here. You take this tool, stick it in there until it catches. Just turn it in. I'll turn it in until it just fits on. I don't bottom it out. Pull my handy dandy hanger off there. Snug as a bug. See how the calipers can float. Now usually what I do is I go hit the brakes, give it a couple pumps, make sure everything tightens back up on it and it looks good. Now's a good time too to check your tires over. Give them a good look for nails or cuts. Something else you can look at is your wear bars. If you see these little lines right there, if the tread of your tire is at the same height as these little bars, it's time for new tires. That just snugs the wheel up. You should do a final torque on it when you put it back on the ground. Give it a good heave hold. So that's your rear brakes. Now I'm going to do the fronts. I was thinking, this is interesting, I thought. When I bought this van, see it says it's a GT. So I was told Grand Caravan GTs were only delivered to rental companies. You could not buy a GT package through a dealership. You could only get these by buying them from a rental place like Enterprise or Budget, whatever. So if you own a GT, it used to be a rental car. I'm gonna do one side of the brakes just to kind of get to know what I'm doing, and then I'll show you what I needed for tools, and show you how to do the other side. They're the same. So all right, so we did the other side. Now I know what I'm doing. So the tools you're going to need for the front is big channel locks. It's helpful. I have a 3/8 ratchet wrench for the 1/2-inch socket, 1/2-inch ratchet wrench for the 21mm, screwdriver in case you need to pry, a little persuader, and the impact, and my wire. I also need a breaker bar. So like I said before, break the lug nuts loose before you lift the car. Otherwise, it's gonna be a little tough. To lift the car, put the jack underneath that point right there. And again, always use your jack stand. Put it right there. In case something falls, it lands on something solid. So it's set up pretty much the same as the back, where your caliper is mounted here with the smaller half-inch bolts here and here. You're going to want to pull the caliper off first, squeeze in the pucks, then take these larger bolts out to take the pad carrier off so you can get the rotor off. Again, you want to hang this caliper. You don't want it to be hanging from the brake line. You want to break it. Sometimes you gotta pry on a little bit to collapse that piston. There you go. It's nice and easy to pop off. Again, the same thing as I did on the back ones. You want to change these pads out along with the clips. Pads you just pull out. Like that. Take the clips, pop them off. And you want to make sure that these pins slide, which they do very nicely. Oops. New pads. Ready to go. Same thing on these. Some of the cars have a bolt that holds the rotor on somewhere. This one does not. So you just got to hit it a few times to break the rust loose and she'll pop off. ahead and put the pads back on. Before you put the caliper back on, you got to push these pucks back in. And how I do that is I'll take an old pad and I'll stick it on there. I'll take these large channel locks and just gently squeeze. That should be good. And you see how the caliper floats. I'll go hit the brakes a couple times and check it for leaks. Ready? You got your license? Yeah. Got my test driver. Good normal? Alright. Get her up to like 40, 45, something like that. And then hit the brakes pretty good, but not like, don't stand on them. Just about half of what you did the other night. That's good. That's good.
No shake.
No shake. Way better. Here it's quiet. Well, that job didn't take nearly as long as I thought. Kind of a dreary day. I said we were supposed to get some good thunderstorms, but it all sort of fizzled out, and I think that clearing is going to hit us, and we might get some sun yet today. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, and maybe we'll see you when something else breaks.